Okay, good. Golly, have all sorts of things going on over there. Everybody's patience with me as I try and get through all this with an iPad and a microphone now. I want to check everything out to make sure I can do everything with this so that when I travel. It was weird that I was in the town of Philippi at their museum to look at the Philippi mummies. No, nothing Egyptian or American Indian or anything like that. And I thought it was quite interesting because I didn't know anything about him except for the fact that Brother Tom Adams' website had this book on it, and bless his heart, uh, typed in there, and bless my heart, way too late last night reading it because it was interesting. He was from Philippi, yes, not Philippi, Philippi, West Virginia. In 1837, the majority of the church voted down the Philadelphia Confession of Faith, denouncing the doctrine. They've started the missionary operations the next year. The next year, 1839, the minority was censured for they tried to get him to go with the missionaries, but no, he wouldn't do it. And when they couldn't get him to go with them, then this is one day of temptation. Meditating on the division and the doctrine and the practice, and just shouted out loud, I'll go with the old side. I'll go with the old side. Tiger Valley River Association. Jealous. Family squabbles between two families. Let's see. Taught school, recorded in Numbers 23:9. Lo, the people shall dwell alone, etc. Like Thompson, he labored and taught school. So, had a horse. I bought a. Notice here, Newport and Thomas. That's R.M. Newport, the co-worker with Daniel Parker in the Wabash Association, later editor. Well, probably R.M. Thomas, who had been just a little bit older than Elder Porter, who later is going to be aligned with Elder Smoot and is the moderator of the. I was a member. The Church of Jesus Christ, called Mount Zion in Clay County, Indiana, holding the all-important doctrine of election and final perseverance of the saints through grace unto glory, and stands aloof from all the institutions of the day, still maintain the Philadelphia Baptist Confession of Faith, together with the treaties of church discipline thereunto annexed. Greetings. Well, there you go. He went back home in 1848. He contracted typhoid fever, despaired of life. Came over to Clarksburg to get some more education. All right. I want to find a couple of things. In the year 1853, the late Elder J.F. Johnson paid a passing through visit to some of the churches lodging at my father's. On driving up to the gate, he asked Mother if she would shelter a poor sinner. Excuse me. Nearly everything they had was destroyed by federal troops. And you know, I'm going to mention something personal here. My grandfather's adopted grandfather, I guess it was, he was a Union sympathizer. But the Yankee Army, when they came to Arkansas, thought he had money and they tortured him, hung him. Yes, the stream is bad today. Really in agreement with you. The stage from being burned at the time of the Embolden Raid, 1863. He successfully appealed to the soldiers to spare it after saying the preachers had no business with political offices. He sang verses and hymns all his life, and some of his songs are popular in church service. Well, he had two. They didn't do it. He got typhoid fever again. And when Father saw the flames enveloping his home, he said to him, "I have another house you cannot destroy." They asked excitedly where it was, and he told them, "Up yonder in the heavens, a house not made with hands." This, he said, was higher than from that year up to the present. Father's papers, including his diary and library, were, as before stated, destroyed during the war, with the exception of a few particular ones. I am in a notion of thought when contemplating the timely admonitions he so fatherly gave annually to the brethren. Them would tend to confuse, and later on bring strife and contention, the result of striving about words to no profit, which we are told in the Holy Scriptures not to do, 2 Timothy 2:14. For when all was properly understood, there was nothing left to cavil over. For them to be particular about each other's feelings, and not to mind little things, but creation was the best decorum he ever visited. Glory to the highest. He can take a worm and thresh a mountain, Isaiah 41:14 and 15. He was a safe counselor, and in gospel a lot of things there in here about some experiences he had in the church. Seems that, well, with this thing acting like it is, brethren, I'm telling you something. Oh, but I got to tell this one. In 1881, while he went to attend the Sister Association, he stopped at a noted hotel in the city of Cumberland, Maryland. For his health in one concentrated column, and the prayers of the righteous must prevail with the Almighty. Father listened a while, and his spirit was stirred in him. He paused, then emboldened himself to speak about his fallen. Has come to die, not all the prayers so-called in the world can save him. As for the effectual fervent prayers of the righteous, no man can pray that prayer unless it be indited by the Holy Spirit, and that is the will of God himself. Their eyes flashed at him, but they made no response. And in a few days, the president died. Well, brethren, I'll tell you what. Yeah, I know it's working now. Now it's time to quit, and I got to take a shower and get ready to go to this. I may do this some more. Give. I'm sorry for the connection. Let's bow. Lord, bless us to stand as our forefathers in the faith have stood, in the truth of thy word, doctrine and practice of thy house. Let us not succumb to the voice crying here and lo there around us. Keep us in the way everlasting. Keep us on that straight path. And give us